Hey guys, and welcome back to another tutorial. Now today's not gonna be a Sony Vegas tutorial, as you can see. It's gonna be an XSplit tutorial. I've been helping out a few of my friends over the last couple of weeks setting up their streams, their live streams, and other people have been asking me on how I set up my stream and how it looks as good as it does. And I'll show you guys exactly all the steps through XSplit on how I set this stuff up. And yeah, let's get started, right? I've set up a new preset or presentation here, right? I can load the old one because I saved that, but yeah, I have nothing in my scenes right now. And so this is what you want to do. First of all, you want to actually go into, before you get started, I would actually highly suggest, to begin with, if you're sitting with XSplit, you want to get started, just go into the general settings right here. Okay, make sure that you have in here, just make sure that you have the right microphone selected to stream with. If you have a USB microphone or something like that, choose that, and then you're good to go. I highly suggest you get a USB mic if you want to stream, because or if you have a dedicated sound card, then you're good to go as well. But if you have an onboard sound card, you will get a lot of white noise on your stream. It's just it's as simple as that. You'll get a lot of white noise on onboard sound cards. But I haven't really messed about with anything in here at all, and except for this, my recordings, I've just selected another drive than my C drive in case I did want to record something with XSplit. I've never tried it, but I've never had to, I've never had to use that feature at all. But if I do get to use it, here is where I will be recording to my D drive instead of my C drive. Because that's always a good idea to do. But what you want to do here is go into the resolutions. Really important, right? Go into resolutions. Only check the ones that you're gonna use, right? I only have 3 selected in here. Here's the first one. I've never used it, but if I were to record something at the same time as streaming, I would actually bump down the quality of the stream to 480p or something like that. I think this is 480p. I'm not sure. But I'll probably bump that down while I was recording something while streaming, and then bump up the quality again afterwards to 720p, which is the next one I've selected here. 1280 by 720, 16 by 9, 720p. I have that selected, and I have 1080p selected as well. I've tried streaming in 1080p, but my internet connection is not good enough to actually handle it. I believe you need a pretty solid internet connection to actually be able to do that. I'm not entirely sure about the exact upload speed you need, but I recall hearing something about needing a 15 megabit upload speed or something like that to actually have a solid, non-laggy stream. But I have it selected just in case I do get the choice to upgrade my internet connection at some point to a way better internet speed. But just have those selected, right? And then click OK afterwards. And then go back to the view here and check the right resolution. I'll explain you in a few seconds why this is important to do as the first step. So go to resolutions and choose the resolution you want to stream at. Very important. So choose that, minus 720p, right? 1280 times 720p. And then the frame rate. I leave mine at 25 frames per second. You can also choose 30 if you want to. In all honesty, I haven't seen any big difference. I've tried out them both, and yeah, this whole transition thing is not important at all when it comes. You can set this up as well. This is just when you switch from one scene to another in XSplit, then you can have different transitions. This is the transition speed. I believe it's set to 500 milliseconds, which is half a second as default. Or is it 200 milliseconds? I can't remember. I've changed mine to a second. And the viewport scale, I don't mess about with that. And once you've done that, so it'll look like this, the same size and everything, you will be you'll be going into broadcast, and then you probably won't have this one. I've already set mine up, but you'll go into add channels, and then click on add, and then choose the site that you're streaming to. If it doesn't show up here, you can click on more to get up this window, the plugin store, block TV, and yeah, there's some other stuff in here that you can select. If you still can't select the one that you're streaming to, you probably have to go to add and then custom RTMP. Okay, and then you have to set it up that way instead. So if you're streaming to YouTube, for example, you have to use this one custom RTMP. Okay, but once you've done that, this window should pop up like this, and then you just punch in, if it's Justin.tv, you punch in your username, your password, and you can set a stream key in here as well. I believe it's something about then your streaming is password protected or something, so no one else can stream without having that password. I'm not sure how that actually works, but then it will automatically select your channel here. So it says Same Old HD Gaming. Location, very, very important, guys. Choose the location that is closest to where you live. So Frankfurt is pretty much the closest to where I live because I'm from Denmark. You can also, if I've tried once that Frankfurt, the Frankfurt server was messed up, so I couldn't stream to it without having insanely, like, I have had so much lag. Yeah, no one could actually watch the stream probably. So I had to switch to London or London secondary. Either one of them will work for me. But other than that, choose the one that's closest to you. And if that still messes up, then choose something else. But we're going to set up some settings and talk about settings right now that can determine whether or not you can stream to this selected server or not. Now, the XSplit default here, I've just leave that on default. Don't do anything about the preset. The quality by default is set to 6. I've bumped mine up to 10. The default setting for the bitrate and the buffer over there is set to 1500 by default. Now, this is where things gets interesting. I'm going to start up my internet browser, go to speedtest.net, and then you can do a test. Now, I'd highly suggest you choose a server that, you know, for example, the Frankfurt one. Let me see if I can select, go down, find the Germany stuff. It's not going to be too much of a pain. Frankfurt, there it is. Click on that. Then it's going to do a speed test to Frankfurt right now. I get 41 milliseconds. Download speed 28 megabits, almost 29 megabit, which is pretty good. But that's not the important thing. That's the upload. I have 8 megabit upload, and it'll probably not allow me to use the entire bandwidth down there. Well, it's actually getting close. Having said that, even though I chose the Frankfurt one, it's not accurate one bit. It's just not accurate. Because this is just one server that the speedtest.net has. That doesn't mean that that's the same speed that you'll get to the XSplit servers, okay? So now we have the 6.72 megabit right here. So we know that that's our upload speed, sort of say, right? So just shut that down. Now, by having set it to 1500 here, that means I'm using about 1.5 megabits of my upload speed. Now, if you have a DSL connection, that is, you don't want to use your entire upload speed because that makes your download speed, it pretty much chokes out your download speed, and that's bad. You don't want to sit there playing an online game and then lag at the same time inside the game or something like that. Or yeah, it can just go bad in so many ways. So don't use your entire bandwidth. I would say use about half of it or so, maybe a little less. If you have a really high upload speed, you can crank up the quality a little bit. But mine's set to 10 here, and mine's set to 2000, meaning I only use 2 megabits of my upload speed. But at the same time, that's just for this, the video encoding. Then you have the audio encoding as well afterwards, so you need to leave room for that in your stream as well. So it uses 2 megabit right now, about 2 megabit for my video. That hasn't calculated in the audio. Now, audio is really important. By the way, this one over here, the VBV buffer, I always set that to the same amount as over here. I could change it to 3000 or something without changing this one over here, but I leave them at the same amount. Okay? But this is the upload speed that it's going to use for the actual video. Now here's the audio. And you want to choose, if you have a personal license or a premium license to XSplit, you want to choose AAC, LC. Don't choose specs. It sounds really terrible, guys. It sounds really bad. I've set mine to 44,100 kilohertz. If you know anything about audio, you will know that if you go really low, like let's say this one, 22,050 kilohertz, it will not sound that good. It will sound really bad, your audio. So I've left mine at 44,100 kilohertz at 16-bit stereo. Don't choose mono because you're playing games in stereo, right? So choose the stereo ones. And the bitrate, now here's where things gets a little interesting. I've set mine to 128,000. You can go, if you have a good internet connection, you can go above that, and you can also go below. But as soon as you get below this 128, you'll lose quality on your audio. So I would never go lower than 96,000. Okay, anything below that, it'll sound really, really horrible. I've chosen this because it sounds really good on my stream. You can choose more than that if your internet connection can handle it. But this is just fine for me. It sounds really, really good on my stream. So yeah, that's what I choose. And then choose interleave audio and video in the RTMP channel. By checking this, you won't have out of sync issues with your audio and video. Just check this one, you should be golden. Now once you've selected all this, the location you want to stream to, right? The server you want to stream to, punch in the numbers you want and all that stuff. And this is why it was important to set this to 720p to begin with, because we're gonna do a test now. It's test bandwidth, right? So we're testing the bandwidth. I'm actually gonna move this up. Show details. Now what it's gonna do is initializing transmission to server, right? So it's trying to get contact with the server and all that stuff. And then it's gonna be, now it's gonna start testing my speed. Now look at this, 2116 kilobytes per second. So that's 2.1 megabit, right? It's actually trying to use. But it's not going below 2000 at any given time. Now this is what you want. You want it, when it's done here in a few seconds, you'll see I'll get a score up here. It'll say green, I'm in the green. If you get yellow or red, you need to change some of your settings. See, I'm in the green, awesome, right? If you get into the yellow, try another test just to make sure that it wasn't something else. You were sitting and downloading at the same time, or you were talking to someone on Skype. That's fine. Do that. Actually, I would highly suggest you test do the test while you're talking to someone on Skype, because in case you are streaming with someone else and you need to use Skype and that's taking some of your bandwidth as well, you don't want to go into the yellow or red zone. If that's the case, you need to bump down these settings here. So bump down the bitrate to maybe 1500 or maybe even 1000 if you have a really, really slow internet connection, right? But then at the same time, bump down this one to 6 again, or maybe even a little lower. In all honesty, guys, I haven't seen a big difference between 6 and 10. Okay, I haven't seen a big difference. And so just change the settings accordingly. You can also bump this down a little bit. That will help you out a lot as well. Do another test. I would highly suggest you do the test about 3 times or so, just to make sure that you are still in the green zone at all times. Then you will have a super smooth, good looking live stream if you're in the green at all times, right? Now once you're done with that, I'm just gonna change this back to my original settings, right? There. Oh shit. Edits. It was me. I punched enter. Okay, so that. So I'm still on Frankfurt. Everything is the way that I want it to be. Click OK to that. Apply and OK. Alrighty. So now that you've done all this, right? You can go into the tools and general settings, and you can set up hotkeys to swap between your scenes if you want to in here, right? Everything else is pretty much set up in here. The general settings, we've set up the mic. Channels, we've set up a channel that we want to stream to. Resolutions, we've sorted that in the beginning. And hotkeys, you can set those up for each scene right here. So you can see scene 1 is Shift Control F1 for me, and then Shift Control F2 for scene 2. That's because I have a Logitech G19 keyboard. So I have 12 G buttons. So I have a G button that I've assigned for each scene, and set my G button 1, for example. That's actually Shift Control and F1 in one button. So I can just use those to switch in my scenes. And you can also go all the way at the bottom and set a hotkey. So mine is Shift Control and F12 to start and stop my streams. You can also set something up to toggle your microphone and speakers if you want to mute the sound on your stream. I've never had the need to mute my mic, but it could come handy. So you can set up a hotkey for that as well. You're just gonna click cancel to that. Now we've set everything up. Now you need to add stuff to your scenes, right? So let's say we want to make a gameplay scene, meaning you need you need a screen region, right? So you click scene 1. Oh yeah, before you do all this, guys, I just want to talk about, see here, I've turned my microphone down really low. Normally that's actually set to about 50%. Don't turn your mics up too loud, guys, because you're gonna blow people's eardrums out and you're gonna start sounding distorted. And by you turning it down to like 50%, I'm not gonna mess around with it because that's gonna fuck up my recording right here. But mine's set to 50% when I stream. This one I never mess with, but I do turn my gameplay sound down to about 5%, maybe 10%-ish, around there when I stream, just so people can hear me loud and clear. So when you turn my stream up all the way, crank the audio up all the way, you can hear me loud and clear, but you can still hear the game sound. That's very important that you don't like turn everything up way too loud, okay? Very, very important. So don't turn your games up too loud, don't turn your mics up too loud. You're just gonna blow people's eardrums out, start sounding distorted, and people are not gonna like it one bit. Now, to the important stuff. Adding a scene, right? So what we're gonna do is add a screen region. Now, I've seen other tutorials where people are like dragging stuff around like this. You can do this, by the way, by making a screen region like this. See, it's not selecting my entire screen. You can do that. And I've seen other people, when they make tutorials, they're going like, well, now you're gonna add the screen region. Then you're gonna go to the top corner and drag it all the way down to the lower corner. You actually don't have to do it. See, it actually selected more than my actual screen. See, if I drag this like this, you can see I have something from the other screen in here, which is bad. So I'm just gonna click on that and click remove. So what you do is, it's very simple. You just to make sure that you get the perfect screen region, here's a little trick for you. It's very, very simple, right? This is money dollar stuff right here. Click on add screen region, go out to the screen, just click on it. Oh my God, is it that simple? Yes, it is. Actually, I'm gonna do it differently. Oh shit, I think I actually messed this up a little bit. I'm not sure. Let's just drag it all the way out. See, that looks just fine. It also looks a little messy. Then you can add a webcam if you want to. You guys actually gonna see my smug today. Booyah. Then resize that a little bit. And drag it down to the corner. Bam, you're ready to stream right. You can also make another scene. I have a scene. I'm actually gonna show you how I've done that. Add, where's that media file? You can see this picture right here. It has like these boxes. It looks like it's white or gray behind it. It's actually not. It's because it's a PNG file. It's transparency. So I have this welcome screen that I use on my stream. What I normally do on everything that I do, even on scene 1, I do that. Right click on this, on the webcam, go into lock position. That way you can't drag it around and mess up your scene, or go to the corners like this and oh my God, I messed up my scene in the middle of the live stream. So do the same here, lock position, right? Go in here, I do the same thing to the background here, lock position. That way I can't go to the corner and drag it and stuff like that. Now you can add, then because I have transparency here, I'm gonna show you exactly how you can do this kind of stuff. Add a screen region. Don't click on a thumbnail, just click on the actual background. Booyah, there you go. And then I'll drag that over here. And then I'll drag it like that. See, it's actually taking up more space than the actual window, but here's why. When I pull this up below, there you go. It doesn't look awesome, and I'm really perfectionist when it comes to these kind of things, so I want it to look pretty good. I'm not gonna waste too much time on it since I'm never gonna be using these scenes. I have a preset already, a presentation already made. See, that looks pretty solid actually. That looks pretty solid. So I'm just gonna move it. I'm actually gonna right click on it, lock position, move it below here, add my webcam, click up on it here because it pops up with this gray box. Resize it. Hey guys. Then just drag it in over here like that. I'm trying to be not too thorough, but I don't want it to look like crap either. Like that. Just move it in here. Then see, it's actually going out into the black stuff here, but as soon as I drag it below here, bam, everything looks nice. Oh, I forgot one thing. I can just right click here and lock position. There you go. That's normally how my stream looks when I welcome people, although I do drag this over to my second monitor that's right over here. But yeah, so this is what I do, right? It's really, really simple. Everything is locked, so I can't drag things around and mess up my scenes. I have another scene made as well where that looks sort of like this, where I've cropped out some of my picture here, where I have it unlocked. So I can just drag it in case I'm playing a game where the chat's up here or the chat's over here, whatever, right? So I can just drag it on top of the chat. But yeah, other than that, I lock my stuff. And then once you've done all this stuff, you're pretty much ready to go, guys. I mean, if you've tested everything in here, in the settings, right? And tested your bandwidth and you're in the green all the way, then you're good to stream. Then you're good to go. It's really, really simple. It's really simple. Like I said, don't turn up your mic too loud, like down here. Don't turn it too loud so you sound distorted. And don't turn up your actual gameplay sound in the games. Don't turn them up too loud either. Because you don't want the gameplay sound to be louder than your actual vocals, right? People should be able to hear you loud and clear on your live streams. And I think there was something else I wanted to say, but I can't remember. If I left something out, I'll make another video. But I think I covered just about everything there is to cover about this. Some people actually use a program called DxTory. So I don't want you guys to see me anymore. I need to shave and stuff. But there's people that actually uses DxTory to take a strain off their CPU. I don't need that because I have a pretty solid PC. I have an i7 processor in my PC with hyperthreading and all that stuff. So I don't really need it. I have 16 gigabytes of memory in it as well in my PC. Pretty good graphics card, a GeForce GTX 570. But yeah, so if you have a pretty good machine, you don't really need DxTory. I never use it, and I don't have DxTory, so yeah, that's another point really. But some people are using that, so if you are having lag issues or your PC, you can feel that your PC is starting to lag or it's too much of a strain on your PC actually streaming. Maybe look into something, search on the internet to find some tutorials on how to set up DxTory with XSplit. There's a lot of them out there, so you'll find them easy modes. Just type how to use DxTory with XSplit, and then you'll probably get like a million tutorials on how to set it up. But yeah, I hope this sort of kind of helped you out. Remember not to set your settings too high if your bandwidth can't handle it. In the edit channels here, edit. So don't crank these numbers up too high if you don't have a good enough internet connection. And the same with the quality here. I mean, like I said before, I haven't seen that big of a difference between 6 and 10, to be honest. So I just leave it at 10 though. This is the settings that I use, and it works perfect for me. My streams look really, really good. And I stream on a daily basis, guys. So if you got, and that's another thing, if you guys want to see streams, gameplay streams and whatnot, come over to twitch.tv/saveemall. There's gonna be a link to it in the description. I stream every day, and go to there's actually a stream schedule on my stream in the information box on the live stream site. So yeah, you can go over and check that out, figure out exactly when I do stream, and come hang out if you want to. I will be doing some other cool stuff in regards of the Sony Vegas tutorials when it comes to streaming, but I'll be announcing something really cool about that in the near future. I know this is not a Sony Vegas tutorial, guys. I do apologize about that, but I want Vegas4Gamers to be a one-stop place for everyone to get all the information they need to both make videos, live stream, and so on and so forth. I want everything to be here, right? But it is primarily like 80% of the videos that's going to be coming up in the future. It's going to be Sony Vegas related. And I might be going into some 3D stuff as well at some point in the near future. But we'll see about that. But if you like the video, please thumbs it up and share it with your friends on Facebook or Twitter or somewhere else where you know people want to watch this kind of stuff. And leave me a comment. What do you think about this stuff? And if you got a good stream out of it, leave me a comment. And take care, have fun, and see you all in the next one.